Peace, y'all. Welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to get into steps that can build and remain a built life for you. This is a list of things to either get you back on track, to add because you're already still on track, good for you, and also to advance, okay? Advance you, move you forward on the track that you're on, not to derail you, but to speed you up, to throttle you forward. Okay, so first and foremost, I have my notes right here, but I do have the first 5 or 10 kind of memorized. All right. So first and foremost, what you're going to do is you're going to fast for 3 to 5 days. The reason why is because this will erase any appetite. This will erase any hunger. This will erase any thirst. You will go through hunger and thirst the first day or two, but once you get to a point where you're not hungering and thirsting for things that no longer serve you, and the way that that starts is through food, because there's so many different ways that we consume, which another one later is stop negatively, mindlessly scrolling. All right, stop mindlessly scrolling. Stop consume. And if you are scrolling, make sure that your algorithm's dialed in. That could be one too. Rebuild your algorithm. Refix your algorithm. Fix up your algorithm. Make it ideal to who you are becoming and the alignment of who you are. That is truly what you want to do with your algorithm. Okay. Clean your entire house. So as much as you think that this looks real clean behind me, there's all these spots around here that are still dirty. You see what I'm saying? They're still dirty. So the main thing about this is that when you have a clean space, okay, you feel better. You actually feel higher. You feel better. You feel more energetic. Okay, you feel like you can do things and you think clearer. Okay, so a clear space is a clear mind. A clear space is a clear mind. I studied this when I was a minimalist in 2020. I still have tendencies of minimalism, but I don't equate that to stuff anymore. I know, I don't even equate it to stuff anymore. I would rather have the right stuff. I think it actually made me more bougie. It actually made me get the quality material. And for real men, 30, 35, 40, okay, I want you guys to really see that when you get high quality stuff, true high quality things, get the high quality meal, get the high quality bag, get the high quality clothing, get the high quality stuff. And I'm not saying spend $2,000 on stuff. I'm saying get stuff that actually works, that actually doesn't deteriorate as much, that you don't always have to go get a second one, that's not going to have holes and everything in it. It's going to be able to maintain you. Okay, so that's a big one. Let's keep going, y'all. So cleaning your entire house, making sure that you're cleaning clutter, clean your car, clean your office, clean your clothes, like go through the old clothes that you don't really use, go through all those things. Okay, I know you have like a significant amount of clothes that you do wear, that you're like, oh yeah, these are the ones that I like to wear. Okay, what about the ones that you don't wear? Get rid of them. Sell them, make some money on it, whatever it is, garage sale, anything like this. There's so many different levels to this, okay? So deep clean your house, remove any clutter, organize everything, clean your refrigerator, wash your bedding, make your space immaculate, make it completely immaculate around you, as well as deep clean your car, fill up your gas, fill up your oil, do the oil change, wash your car, okay? Deep clean inside of it. You might even want to get it detailed. So certain things like this is going to change the brainwave patterns, okay? Next, we're going to move on. You guys, those are self-explanatory. Those are self-explanatory. The next thing that we're going to move on to is creating a solid AM routine, okay? A solid AM routine. Again, I'm going to speak to the men, okay? As a man, you only have a certain amount of time for me time, for time to yourself. All the other times or hours of the day, you're usually meeting with other people. Okay, you're usually responsible for other people, accountable for other people, whether that's financially, emotionally, mentally, physically. There's levels to the responsibility and accountability too. Okay, because you might be responsible for one person, or you might be responsible for 8 people, 5 people, 7 people, a whole team, and your family. Okay, so there's levels to this, y'all. There's absolute levels to this. So I want to explain this to you. Your me time is the time where none of them are awake. None of them are awake. They're all in REM sleep. That's your time. That time is devoted to you. And you could choose to hit the snooze button. You could choose to not wake up at that time. But what does that mean? That means you're choosing everybody over yourself. So at that point, you're a people pleaser. And if you're a people pleaser, you're going to please people, and they are going to suck you dry. They're going to sponge off you, leech off you. And the reason why I say this is because you didn't choose yourself. So if they're choosing you, they're only going to be able to get what they can get out of you. They're not even going to get the fullest version of you, because you ain't giving the fullest version to you. The time that you do this, the time that this is necessary for you to do this, is usually between the times of 3 a.m. and 7 a.m. You have about a 4-hour period before everybody's calling your phone at 7:30 or 8 a.m., before the texts come in when they wake up, before your kids wake up, before your sons and daughters wake up, before your wife wakes up, before any of your family members go to work, before any of your household goes to work, and they're up making breakfast or they're up doing stuff. The time for you is between 3 and 7 a.m. Okay? And then sometimes, but very rare, because if you are responsible for a certain amount of people and accountable for a certain amount of people, you might not even get the PM one, which is usually from 8 p.m., because sometimes you don't even get that because you're watching TV with your family or something, whatever it is. Okay? Preferably for me, it'd be like podcasts, like motivational podcasts at 8, but I mean, how often does that really happen? So usually the other time period is between 8, 9, and 8 to 11 or 8 to 12. So that means that you have 2 periods of time. They're both when the sun is not up. Okay? One, the sun is rising. One, the sun is far set and you're going into darkness. So this is exactly what I'm saying. This is the time as a man that you pretty much get to yourself. And I'm making this one a little bit longer because this is extremely true. So this is the only time that you are devout to yourself. So this is the time where you should be speaking to yourself extremely highly. You should be reading, you should be connecting, which is the next one, connecting biblically. You should be reading, biblically what you should be doing, how you should be living, how you should be correcting yourself. Because that's what you're doing when you're opening the Bible. When you're opening the Bible, okay? When you're opening it, what you're doing is you are consciously choosing to hold accountability to yourself, because obviously we've fallen short. This is the way to dial in, not to victimize ourselves, because that's usually what most people, 99% of people who open that book would victimize themselves and be like, dang, I'm just not enough. The connection is, how can I become better? Rather than fixating on I'm not enough, which is usually what we'll fixate and focus on, we must focus on, we know that, so let's keep going and say, how can I become better than what at least I was? Okay, so that is the first basis of what we're supposed to do. Let's keep going. So during the time when you're creating a solid AM routine, a lot of what I like to do is I like to do my AM cardio. I like to do at least 30 minutes of cardio, maybe 45 minutes of cardio, and I'll walk on the treadmill. I also like to lift. I like to train. I like to push heavy, lift heavy, do all these different types of things. So when I'm working out, when I'm training, I like to do my yoga. I like to do, hip flexors, shoulder openers, all different types of things like this. I like to do my qigong, my tai chi, my breath work. Another thing too is not only just cutting negative consumption, like scrolling, etc., but negative consumption like smoking or drinking or eating bad food or vaping or any type of negative type of consumption, you must get rid of. You have to get rid of. Like that, a lot of those things are either because you're trying to escape the present moment because you feel the present moment's not good enough now. So you are forcing yourself not to take action, or you're taking actionless action in a negative route. Okay, so this is a big thing for me. I wanted to learn through experience. I'm not victimizing myself. I'm just being transparent, authentic with you guys. I'm not saying to do that either. I'm not saying this is educational entertainment purposes only. The whole thing about this is that I wanted to learn through experience, and I wanted to learn why I do the things I do. Why is my psychology the way that it is? And then that actually made me a better person. That made me want to make more videos. That made me want to make more music and be better at music. That made me want to take notes. That made me want to read. That made me want to write books. That made me want to do things because I studied why I don't want to do things, why I don't like to do things, why I want to escape the present moment, why I want to do these vices or addictions. And those vices and addictions are the things that are going to set you back from revealing who you are as your true authentic self. So the main thing is that you go to, like I said, in the law of assumption, instead of, you just skip that step. You skip that step and you start to assume who is the best version of me now, and be that version in the AM routine every single day, consistently with discipline. That's why I call it an AM ritualistic discipline. You do it ritually. You just do it in a routine. It's 111. It's 111, yo. Okay? Stay off your phone the first hour of the morning. My wife was the first person that taught me this. She was the first person that taught me this. At least that I listened to. Stay off your phone the first hour of the morning. The first hour of the morning. I would at least say until you're out of theta states, which would be the first 25 minutes of the morning. But I would say the first hour is key. And then I would say to automate as much as you possibly can in your business. So if you're running a business, if you're building a business, if you're starting to cultivate yourself, automate enough stuff in your business that you don't always have to be on your phone and still things post. So like for me, my social media just posted today. I didn't even know it was going to post today. And it already set up stuff for calls to action for people to be able to reach out to me. And I hadn't even gone on Instagram. And when I did, it was on there. I didn't have to go on TikTok. When I did, it was already on there. It was already posted. So it's already starting to work in my favor before I even showed up. That's a key thing. So start to do things that will work in your favor without even having to show up first. Okay, and that's through law of assumption. That's through setting yourself up for success. Are you loyal to yourself in advance? Loyalty, loyalty, loyalty. Okay, that's the main thing. So starting off with biblical scripture, daily biblical scripture. Okay, reading positive quotes, reading biblical law, reading Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, getting into the Gospels, studying the Gospels, things like this. Reading other good sources that will strengthen your faith, your finances, your health, your communication, your wealth, your prosperity, anything like this. Human behavior, psychology, self-development, anything like this is something that is powerfully going to help you. Like, it is going to help you so much, so tremendously, that you will find the focal point. Find certain books that you know will set you straight, will set you on the straight path, the straight and narrow path. Okay, it's not about taking the wide and destructive road. It's about taking the narrow path, the straight and narrow path. All right. Establish alternative ways to make money. This is also a very big thing. Nowadays, there are multiple ways to make money online relatively pretty quickly within the month, within the year, within the quarter, within the biannually, anything like this. But between the biannual, outcome, or the quarterly outcome, or the quarterly statement, anything like that, there is ways to make money online. There are ways to build your credit. There is ways to help your your credit score, so then you can get maybe business credit. You could start a business, you can fund a business, you can teach business funding, you could do multitudes of different things. You could start a school membership, you could start a ClickFunnels membership, you could do anything. You could do one-on-one coaching, you do high ticket sales, you could do real estate, you could do any type of business. You could do blue collar business, white collar business, you can anything like this, guys. That's what I'm saying, is that you could get into trading. So all of these things are ways to where you won't have to necessarily depend on a 9 to 5 for you to maybe potentially survive. So the whole thing about this is that you want to be able to cover your bases. You want to be able to cover your bases. You got to cover your foundation, your groundation for you and your family and your responsibilities. And the way that you do this is by setting yourself up for success. All right? That's the main thing. So whether it's a digital product, maybe you're writing a book, a digital ebook, maybe it's an actual a paperback book. Okay, any of these things are going to help you. Any of these things are going to help you. Okay, and then you can work on the marketing, you can work on the sales, you can work on the digital advertising, digital marketing aspect of it. Maybe it's trading, maybe it's consulting. You guys kind of know what I'm saying. Develop a useful skill, an alternative way to make money. All right. Review every expense. So find out what all of your expenses are and put them on one credit card. So have one credit card, a higher credit card. Say it's like, higher than $500. Anything, whatever your bills are. But like ultimately, have one card just be for bills. Like that card is just for bills, and maybe that card is a cash back card. That any time that you spend on that card, you get cash back on that, and so you put all your bills on there. So you're going to make money off your money by things you're already going to pay for. It's pretty smart. You're starting to think a little bit smarter. So that's what I'm saying. And maybe there's one card that you use just for groceries and just for food. Maybe there's one card you use just for purchasing digital products, like an Amazon Prime card. Maybe there's just a card out there that you just use for gas. Maybe there's a card that you use that's just for cashback, or just for, maybe it's a higher cashback card. So that's what I'm saying. And then utilize that, put that cashback back in your pocket, put it in a higher yield savings account, have it invest, have it build for you, have it cultivate for you. Okay? Have your money make more money. Okay? Be smart about what you're doing. Be smart about what you are doing. Fix your sleep schedule. Okay? We're going to keep going. Fix the sleep schedule. I don't know why I'm tongue twisting over here. But ultimately, your sleep schedule, your REM sleep, your melatonin, the way that you can actually correct this, ironically, is by getting up early and getting the first light of the day, because that's going to train your body. Okay, it's daytime, serotonin's releasing. Okay, all of this is going to release, and you're actually going to get a cortisol response, which is a good thing at that time of day. It's a good thing. During this time, you don't want to consume things that are going to heighten that cortisol. Okay, you could do it once your cortisol goes back down to baseline, when you're actually awake and aware. Dr. Andrew Huberman talks about this, like skipping your coffee the first 90 minutes of the day, and instead doing a small activity like walking or training or something like this. So then the cortisol has somewhere to go. So the stress has somewhere to be. Okay, that's what I'm saying. And then drink your coffee, black coffee specifically too. Okay, cold brew specifically too. All right, so training your body daily, getting the first AM sunlight is going to reinstitute your circadian rhythms. Those circadian rhythms are now going to tell you 11 to 12 hours later, hey, it's time for melatonin production. And what is that going to do? That is going to tell you to go to sleep. And that's going to tell you to go to sleep earlier. Because if you wake up earlier, what? Early to rise or early to bed, early to bed, early to rise. Let me say it again. Early to rise is early to bed, and early to bed is early to rise. You want to become an early riser? You want to be in line with your circadian rhythms? That is the way that you do it, is by getting morning light. The morning sun. All right? So let's talk about it. Fixing your sleep schedule, setting consistent bedtime, so not being sporadic with your bedtimes, going to bed at the same time every night. You can also supplement with GABA. You can supplement with melatonin. You can supplement with Let Me Sleep gummies. You can supplement with any type of thing that would really, really help before going to bed. And two, there's a few different things. Like for men, I would say that during the time when you're sleeping, When you're sleeping, you are developing the most testosterone, the most human growth hormone. So those first 3 days, when you're fasting, first 3 to 5 days, when you're getting yourself back on track and you're starting to align with the betterment of you, this is a very big time to do this, is that you want to make sure that you're maximizing that. So you're eating your eggs, okay, you're eating your steak, you are two for men. I'm going to talk about this in maybe a separate video, but if you were to do 30 to 90 days of just strictly like carnivore per se, a lot of people would say that's a lot of meat, a lot of whatever. And two, maybe some of the breatharians might yell at me. Don't yell at me. Don't hate me. All right. I'm still with you. But the whole thing about this is that what this is actually doing, this is for hormonal health. And not because it's from the foods, it's from what you're not doing, which is consuming carbohydrates, spiking your insulin, spiking your IGF-1, your insulin growth factor 1. You're not spiking your cortisol as much. You're not spiking your blood sugar. Those are all different ways of explaining that you are keeping your glycemic index at a certain percentage or pretty low, relatively from like 10 to 30 on a scale of 100, 120. Somewhere in there, I really want you guys to see that when you start to control your hormones, your hormonal health, you will not only produce better hormones, thicker hormones, more dense hormones, because that's what intensity is, or intensity, I like to call it, is like when you start to train more intense, of course, you're going to create more intense hormonal output, which is also going to need a supply of more hormonal input. Okay, or it's going to regurgitate, refixate, rewire your brain. It's going to rewire your neuroplasticity, your neurochemistry, which is also just another way of that you are going to get a higher pituitary gland output. Like your hypothalamus and your pituitary gland, your adrenal glands will be lower. Okay, and your pituitary will be able to release more potent chemicals, because your adrenals are not outputting so much to where all that energy has to go down. All right, so you want the energy to go up into the pituitary and the pineal glands. That's really what you want to do. Your inner eyes, your inner hormones. Like I always say, it's about neurochemistry. Neuro is your eyes, which is your nervous system, your pineal gland, what they refer to as your third eye. Then there's also the chemistry part, which is your pituitary gland, which is the father, or Joseph. So Joseph and Mary. All right, that's really what we refer to it as. Don't shoot the messenger. All right, I think you guys have already done that one too many times. Oh, that's funny. Train your body every single day. Fix your sleep schedule. Handle the things that you have been avoiding. Make the phone calls. Send the emails. I would also say even go through a minimalist cleanse. So sell things, get rid of things, clean your, shred all the papers that you haven't been shredding, make the phone calls, put the people on do not disturb, clear the people who used to not be on do not disturb or are on do not disturb, put them where they're supposed to be. Put the people where you're supposed to be. All right. And know that I'm going to receive these calls and I don't want to receive these calls, or whatever it is. Or I can call these people back, or whatever. What are some things that I can do in my phone when I'm on D&D, when I'm on Do Not Disturb? Okay, what can I do in my life that would help me be able to focus more on not only videos, not only outputting, helping myself build, etc., whatever it is. Okay, so by setting yourself up, by unsubscribing to the emails that no longer belong in your life, unsubscribing to the people that no longer belong in your life, unsubscribing to the negative emotions that you have now outgrown, investing into your inner child, okay? Investing into your inner child, alchemizing your inner child, okay? Drinking more water. This one's self-explanatory, not going to go beyond it, but ultimately it will help. Writing down your top 3 priorities for the day, accomplishing those 3 priorities and making sure that you only do those 3 things. Okay, writing down those 3 priorities. Stop repairing your entire life at once, knowing what matters most per day, those things per day. So just do those 3 things per day. Boom, accomplished it. Now you don't ever have to do it again, or at least for 10 years. Okay, or 5 years, 10 years. Usually it's about a decade that you wouldn't have to do something again. Like if it's that important, all right? removing negative influences, limiting gossip. So when you're at work and your coworkers are gossiping about somebody that you know did not do that thing, did not say that thing, the way that they're saying that they said that thing, or whatever. Even participating in the negative, experiences and the negative mindsets and the negative gossip and talkish and gossips and things like this. Stop it. That's why all of those things rhyme. So when you talkish and gossip, you need to stop it. It's nonsense. I promise. All right. So endless scrolling. Stop scrolling. All right. Stop scrolling so much. Change your algorithm. If you are going to scroll, make sure that you have a time limit for what you're scrolling on, and you're not just like, like you're just like a mindless drone, low key. Pointless arguments. So you don't always have to. I don't want to argue with you on this or anything like this. Just like there has to be something that you could say. There is something that you can say that would make that person be able to see that not only do you not want to argue with them, you don't want to participate in pointless arguments, but you also see them greater than probably the conversation that you're having. Communicate that, and that is how you would develop yourself. Look, you would have less arguments if you argued with yourself less. If you discipline yourself more, if you were not, if you're training more, if you're working out more, if you're building yourself more, you're going to have arguments with yourself less, and you're going to start to build upon yourself and your life so much better. And you're going to reconnect with your trustworthiness of yourself. You're going to reconnect with the consistency, the disciple within, the discipline, okay, the discipline within you. You're going to start to reconnect with the worth within you rather than you being told you're worthless by everybody else around you, and then you internalizing that, them living rent-free in your head. What you can do is you can say, I am worth it, and you could also start to regurgitate the assumption that other people around you have those same assumptions about you. Like, hey, I believe that he's worth it. I believe that she's worth it. Whatever it is, all right? Reconnecting with trustworthy people, but also becoming more trustworthy within yourself. Being worthy of trust and being trusting of your worthiness. I said it. Okay, let's keep going. Keep your word to yourself. Start small promises. So 1 day here, 2 days here, 30 days, 10 days, half a month, 6 months, whatever it is. Figure out what your time is and develop that self-trust. Develop self-trust return of investment. So you're going to invest in yourself. You're going to trust yourself that you're going to see that through. And then once you do see that through, you're going to see a return of investment. And that return is going to be greater than that investment that what you put in. Meaning that you made those gains. Meaning that you can do that half marathon. Meaning that you can run without stopping. Meaning that you can do that cardio every single morning without batting an eye. Meaning that you can eat disciplined. You can eat the steak and eggs and be completely disciplined and not worry about it. Okay, starting to forgive yourself for getting off track, knowing that like we are human, we do fail, we do mess up. I know it's crazy for some of you guys to think about that, right? Forgiving yourself is super important. This is where I would say even it starts. You forgive yourself, which means that you're giving forth to yourself. That's what forgiveness is you're giving forth. What are you giving? You're giving what? Compassion and empathy, which is the highest form or byproduct of love. So love is isness, right? I love you. It's like it's an isness. Now then there's something that is extending that love and ultimately embossing them in the same exact auric vibration. I don't want to get too woo-woo on you guys, but ultimately, guys, when you give forth and you help them with that, when you extend compassion and empathy, now you're starting to feel their feelings. Now you're starting to feel their emotions. And what you're doing is you are separating. You're not absorbing their emotions. You're observing them, but you have crossed that barrier energetically or aurically. And so what you're doing is you are going to start to feel positive feelings for them. You see what I'm saying? That's what forgiveness really is. You're giving forth positive feelings for them. You are cleaning the slate per se. You are not going to hold it against them anymore. Okay? It doesn't mean you forget. It means that you just give better energy than what was given. Okay? And two, forgiving yourself is a whole thing. Is like when you forgive others, a lot of times it's for yourself, because a lot of times you don't want to go back to that person that you're forgiving. So it really is just like, it's like trying to swallow poison and have the other person die, right? Like you guys have heard that. So like the whole thing is, that's why you don't forget. Forgiveness is really that you are giving forth to, so you no longer have to bear that weight. You no longer have to bear that energetic weight. And energetic weights are significantly heavier. Spiritual weights, spiritual life is significantly heavier than physical life. And lighter, if we allow it to be. Okay? You guys have heard from Seneca that, and he's one of these famous philosophers. Seneca, he said that we suffer more in the mind than in actual reality. Okay? Because of the things that we know. Because of the things that we feel, by the things that we know and have heard and think about, stuff like this. So that means that we can also, with the same type of mindset, assume the positive assumption of that, meaning that we can also suffer significantly less in our minds if we allow ourselves to entertain that thought process via the law of assumption. Okay, forgiving yourself for getting off track, taking responsibility and accountability, learning what caused the derailment, learning what caused me getting off track. How can I remain on track? Okay, allowing your mind to settle without constant stimulation, meaning standing and sitting and spending time in silence. Spending time in silence. Okay, forgiving yourself, journaling, meditating, breathing, allowing your mind to settle and sit in stillness. Be still and know that I am God. The I am. So what is the I am? How many times have you said I am and then follow with something negative? Forgive that. Forgive yourself for saying something like that, and saying, like, the I am is what connects all of us. We're all saying I am, I am, I am. Let's say I am capable. I am worthy. I am self-trusting. I am able to be trusted by others. I am. And then you start to say more and more positive things rather than, I don't even want to say some of the stuff that I be hearing. Follow I am. And then I will, I can. I'll do the video on the I am again for sure. Preparing the night before. This is also a very big one. So like I said, early to rise is early to bed, and early to bed is early to rise. So also what you want to do before you're early to bed, right as you're preparing, for bedtime, you're taking your Let Me Sleep gummies, you're taking your melatonin, you're taking your GABA, okay? You're taking a multitude of different things, whether it's a multivitamin, a multi-mineral, a superfood, royal jelly, schisandra, ashwagandha, anything like this. If you're taking any stuff like this, it's going to help your body, okay? Whether it's ginseng, any of these things. What you're going to do is you want to prepare the night before. You want to prepare the night before. Why do you want to prepare the night before? So that when you wake up, when you arise, you are already having your clothes laid out. You already know what you're wearing the next day. You already know what your space, what you're going to do with your space. Your space is organized. Your workspace is organized. You already know what videos you're going to record. You already know what meals you're going to eat. You already know what training you're going to train. You already have your fitness in order. You already know what songs you're going to sing. You already know what playlists you're going to listen to. You already know what videos you're going to watch. And people say, well, that's so mundane. Oh man, I want some excitement. I want some excitement and 33333. So the main process about this is that what we're doing is we're actually setting ourselves up for success. That makes our life significantly less boring rather than more boring. Okay? Boredom is actually a really, really, really good sign. Boredom is a really good sign. I'm not going to get all into it right now, but boredom is an extremely good sign, because that's a place where you could start and throttle off of. I'm not even joking. Write tomorrow's priorities today or tonight, removing any morning excuses. Know what you're going to do in the AM. So, whether it's going to be a 3.3 mile run, an 8 mile run, whether it's going to be, you're walking for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, whether you're training for 30 minutes or 45 minutes, what's your HIIT cardio going to be today? What meals are you going to eat? At least having 2 of your 4 meals set up or whatever. Tracking your progress every single night. So journaling, you can have a journal right next to me. What distracted me today? What distracted me today? What needs to change tomorrow? What distracted me today that I know that I'm better? I know that I'm better than, but I keep falling into that, or I keep falling into victimizing myself and thinking I'm not good enough, and I keep sleeping in, and I keep eating food that no longer serves me, and I keep being extra dramatic and victimizing myself and self-loathing rather than just seeing like that's just one day. One day doesn't make up your entire life, and man, you have a big long life to lead. Okay, tracking your progress every night. Ask yourself, what did I complete? What did I do? What distracted me? What needs to change tomorrow? How can I better myself? In what ways did I become better? Repeat the basics until you become the lifestyle. So this is Atomic Habits. It's looking at atoms made Adam. So look at your atomic habits. Look at what the micro habits that you're doing. What are all the micro things that you're doing? Okay? What are all the micros that you're doing that builds up the macro, that builds up the scene? What are all the unseen things that you're that nobody looks around, all the integrated integrity that you have? What are all the micro decisions, the micro habits that you have that build up your macro habits, that build up who you are? And that is something that will truly, truly, truly develop you. Okay, I'm gonna conclude this. All right, so first and foremost, fasting for 3 to 5 days. That's the sweet spot. You want to get into a point where you get past hungry, past thirsty, where you feel energetic again. This is going to rid your body of parasites. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to do a small cleanse. So you'll do like a 2-day juicing cleanse every AM, and then you'll eat relatively, so then you don't promote any cortisol and stuff like that. So no carbs and things like this. Okay. And this is going to make you extremely lean, extremely dense. And then you're going to start training. So by day 5, you're going to start your training and whatnot. You're going to be, running every day. You're going to be eating at that time, day 5 and whatnot. But your body is now pured. It's purified. It's pure. Okay. It's so then you're in a really good vibration to not only receive breath, to you no longer need vices, because it only takes 3 to 5 days to end vices. So you won't need to smoke, you won't need to drink, you won't need to do anything like that. You won't need to sleep in. You're going to be highly energetic. You're going to be doing your breath work every day, your meditation every day. Excuse me, little hiccups. Cleaning up your car. A clean space is going to help you. Having an AM routine. You guys know how important this is. Having a midday or PM routine as well. So like a PM routine is kind of like what I was saying is be ready the night before. Set your clothes out. Journal how your day went. Making sure that you know what stuff you're going to record the next day, how you're going to train the next day, what you're going to eat the next day. What your entire plan is the next day. Setting yourself up for success and writing it down, taking action. Having alternative ways to make money, making sure that you have 1 or 2 alternative ways to make money, and developing yourself, setting yourself up for success in those types of ways. All right. Reading the Bible and other good sources or books or materials that you can read that will genuinely help you and set you upon the right track. Peace and love, y'all. Peace and love. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you like this video, like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell me what you guys liked about this video, the most. Leave a comment below on what you liked the most. If you guys want to schedule a one-on-one consultation, if you guys want to meet up with me, you guys can check out all that. I have so many different opportunities to be able to meet with you guys, to be able to help you guys. It's all about investing in you and helping you guys develop your own lives in your own ways. I'm not here to just fish for you. I'm here to teach you how to fish. Peace and love, y'all. See you guys in the next one.